22nd January, Saint Vincent, deacon and martyr. Optional Memoria. Vincent, a deacon of the Church of Saragossa, suffered terrible tortures and died the death of a martyr at Valencia in Spain during the persecution of Diocletian. Veneration for him quickly spread throughout the church. A reading from the sermons of Saint Augustine. Saint Vincent conquered in him, through whom the world is overcome. It has been granted to you, he says, that for the sake of Christ, you should not only believe in him, but also suffer for his sake. The deacon Vincent received both these gifts, belief and suffering, and held on to them. For if he had not received them, what would he have had? He had confidence in his speech. He had endurance in his sufferings. Therefore, let no one presume on his own powers when he speaks. Let no one trust in his own strength when he undergoes temptation. Since, in order to speak well and prudently, we must have wisdom from the Lord. And in order to bear misfortune bravely, we must receive the gift of endurance from him. Remember the warnings of the Lord Christ to his disciples in the Gospel. Recall how the King of Martyrs equipped his army with spiritual weapons, telling them of the battles they would have, bringing help to them and promising them rewards. He said to his disciples, "In the world you will have tribulation." But at once, to relieve their fears, he added, "But be of good cheer, I have overcome the world." What wonder then is it, brethren, if Vincent conquered in him, by whom the world has been overcome? In this world, he says, you will have tribulation, to the extent that if it presses on us, it does not overwhelm us. If it attacks us, it does not subdue us. The world has a double attacking strategy against the soldiers of Christ. It flatters to deceive, and it frightens to intimidate. Let our own pleasures not capture us. Let the cruelty of others not frighten us. And then the world has been conquered. Christ comes to the rescue against both forms of attack, with the result that the Christian is not defeated. If we consider only as human the endurance that Vincent showed in his passion, it becomes incredible. But if we recognize the power of God, it ceases to be astonishing. They cruelly ravaged the martyr's body, and yet he spoke with tranquility. They inflicted savage tortures on his limbs, and yet his words were composed. You would have thought that while Vincent was suffering, it was not the speaker, but someone else who was being tortured. And brethren, that is what it was, that it most certainly was. Someone else was speaking. For Christ promised this in the Gospel to his witnesses when he was preparing them for struggles of this kind. Do not be anxious how you are to speak or what you are to say, for it is not you who speak, but the Spirit of your Father speaking through you. the flesh suffered and the Spirit spoke. And when the Spirit spoke, not only was impiety overcome, but weakness itself was strengthened.